Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the 31st of March. So going into April tomorrow, another month gone. They seem to go by really, really freaking fast. I'm imagining you probably are thinking the same thing. We can't slow this down, so we're just going to stay at it. So we're going headlong into some crazy stuff right here. You guys watching the banks and what's going on there, and everybody's trying to claim it's a black swan. I'm seeing a lot of data coming out. I'm watching a lot of very, very smart people breaking this down. This is not black swan, guys. This is something that is being built, whether it's being built by stupidity or it's being built intentionally. I cannot say. I'm not sitting in these meetings. I'm not in the background of those who are pulling the strings and knowing what they're doing and why they're doing it. But you see what's going on, what Yellen's that conversation with that I talked about in the last probably about the last three of these that I posted, where Janet Yellen was being asked questions by members of the Senate, and when you start seeing what they're doing and why they're doing it, but what they're doing, you're questioning why they're doing it, because it doesn't feel like to me that this is being done for the benefit of the whole. It's being the benefit for somebody, but it's definitely a smaller group of people. So I was going to get into a lot of stuff, a lot of market stuff, but really we got PCE out, personal consumption expenditures. It was pretty tame compared to what they expected. It's working somewhat in our favor. It's not really better or worse as far as the market's keeping it pretty flat. But what I wanted to talk about briefly has to do with the cash out refinance stuff I've been talking about. I keep saying, do not pay cash for a property unless you contact me first, especially if you want to do a refi to get that money back out. Now, it's still business as usual doing refis and cash outs. We still do it. It's just more expensive. The FHFA, the Federal Housing Finance Administration, Direct Fannie and Freddie have put it in place now that there's an additional expense to do a cash out refinance. Why have they done that? They're making a stupid amount of money, right? They're also trying to slow down the amount of capital flowing out into the markets. That's my assumption. I can't say that because that's certain, because I have not received a transcript that says that's the case. But it's my assumption that's one of the ways they're trying to control inflation. Because inflation's out of control because you pretty much just create money out of thin air and just throw it all over the place. It's going to create that inflation. Now they got to try and keep more money from going out there. The other thing is long-term instruments. When you're talking about financing things, there's a lot more detail about how things get financed and how things get sold around the markets, and where the money comes from and all stuff. That's also, they want to stop expansion of that if they can. So if you're doing one of those purchases, what they call the BRRRR method, I'm going to buy a property cash, I'm going to rehab it, and I'm going to refinance it. Just don't move forward without me talking to you. One, there's several ways to step into this. Make sure that you can get your money back out, right? You don't have to wait a full year, because now it's a year. You have to season this stuff. It's not 6 months anymore, right? So that's changed. We don't have that 6 month seasoning. The other thing is you can still do that. There's delayed financing. We can do that, but you have to do it the right way. You don't just pay cash and then pay your contractor. It has to be, you can only go up to whatever left your money at the closing table. So we have to talk about that. The other thing that we want to get into as well has to do with that cost. There's a way to do it where you don't have to pay the cost. We got it. We know. Talk to us. We just start rifling around talking to the lenders. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't do this. This is what we do all the time. That's what I'm saying. Still can do the refinances. They haven't stopped that. It's just a lot more expensive, and there's a lot more ways to go about it. We have to do it right, and we're going to do it in succession, small steps. So we'll work with you, myself, Sandra, Ellen, Scotty, Carla. Those are the people you want to talk to. We'll guide you through it. Now, let's get into the charts real quick so you can see where we're at. All right, so what we got here is we're back in the same place we've been indicating before. You have, let's see here, of course, it's delayed. All right, so here we've got, remember, we were above the 200-day moving average, talked about that before, got below it. We do have what looks like to be here. The 100-day is, it was a barrier 3 trading days ago. It's been a bit of a barrier to support, and now we're above it. We're going to be in that support range. So now we're squeezed between the 100-day and the 200-day moving average. Also, this particular support level. So with this squeeze, I don't know where it's going to go. It could get squeezed really hard to push this back up above the 200-day. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to push us more than likely down. But if we get below these other moving averages, these averages, what they do is they look at this particular average is a 10, this purple one, that's a 14-day moving average. It means it just takes whatever the movement was for that 14 days, it just charts an average out of the movement of every day's worth of movement here. Every day's trading. That's what each one of these candlesticks represent. Then you have the 21-day, which is the orange one. Your green one is going to represent a 35-day. Your bluish colored one here is going to represent 100 days, and then your red's going to represent your 200-day. Excuse me, your 100-day is going to be represented by the red. The blue here is the 200. So then you have a 50-day in there. So yeah, sorry, it's just a lot. Just know that these are averages. These averages also act as supports and ceilings of resistance where it has to trade above it. And sometimes it'll be hard to trade above that. And these are technical levels that traders are looking at. Right now, we're above all these support levels as well as all the moving averages except the 200-day. So the 200-day moving average has been a very, very formidable ceiling. You can see we get above it, come right back down, get above it, come right back down. We're going to hit it again. I don't think we're going to be able up there long, so we may be at a peak at the moment. If you're waiting to lock, pull that lock trigger, talk to Scotty. Do not delay that lock time. Let's go ahead and move forward with that. We'll see how the new month brings us. If there's any questions for us, reach out to us directly, aaron.chapman.com. If you have any questions about this cash out thing, just get a hold of us, guys. Go down to aaron.chapman.com, go down to the contact us section, reach out to us. Let's get things kind of settled out, get you figured what direction you're going. You identify a property. Let's start talking about well in advance. And do not start trying to look for properties you don't have a pre-qual. We definitely want to talk about that too. So reach out to us. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday.